What's up, strangers? Welcome here. Have you ever heard the phrase time is money? A basic idea behind it is that in the end, time is just like money. We have a limited amount of both. If we spend them efficiently, then our returns are good. But if we squander them, then they are just wasted. Almost everyone craves for money in our crazy world. We shouldn't forget that there are other important things in our lives rather than just earning money and worrying about it. There are four most important sources of happiness to people. The first is money. We need it to have the ability to live. The second is time. Time is the only thing we cannot buy. We should be wise and not waste it on useless things. The third is love. There is a saying, all we need is love. Love gives us warm feelings. We feel alive when we love and are loved. Last but not least is success and fame. We want to be appreciated. We want others to praise us for our achievements. We want to feel that we mean something in this world. Everyone places these four sources from the great importance to the least, based on their needs. What is your most important source of happiness and safety? Today we're going to talk about money idioms and time idioms. Let's start with money idioms. The first idiom is money talks. It's used to say that money has a strong influence on people's actions and decisions. A person with a lot of money most likely behaves in a different way than a person who doesn't have much money. I'm not saying that every rich person is bad and arrogant, but it's a fact that money spoils people. The example of this idiom is, we learned that money talks when the rich couple got a reservation at the famous restaurant, although we couldn't. If you have money, you can go anywhere you want and buy whatever you wish. To go from rags to riches. It means to start your life very poor and then later in life become very rich. A lot of actors and singers were poor and hardly made ends meet. Such difficult situations help people to become stronger and achieve great success in the future. For example, a friend of mine went from rags to riches. Now he's a successful man in Hollywood. People don't necessarily work hard to go from rags to riches. There are a lot of cases where a person doesn't do anything and becomes rich just because of their husband, wife, or other relatives. Such situations often make people worse. They show off, they think highly of themselves, and take everything for granted. That's not cool. Highway robbery. It's a situation in which you have to pay far too much money for something. For example, $40 for 2 drinks? That's highway robbery. It's good to be wise with money and not buy anything that costs more than a reasonable price. It's okay in rare situations when you want to eat or drink, but in most cases it's not worth spending so much money. The next idiom is for a song. It means to buy something cheaply for a very low price. For instance, it's a very cheap house. We practically bought it for a song. That's a lucky family. It's always a good deal when you find something of good quality and it's cheap. How often do you look for sales? Or you aren't that careful with money and just burn it on whatever you want? What's your best purchase? To live beyond one's means is to spend more money than one can afford to spend. For instance, living in New York City is beyond my means. It's a big problem for a lot of people actually. They want to have a beautiful life, they buy expensive cars, they rent big apartments or houses, but they don't earn as much money as they spend. In the end, it turns out they have no money. Instead, they have debts. The best lesson here is to think before you act. If you don't want to be in a serious trouble, save money and only then buy something you want or go traveling. It's time to talk about time idioms. The first idiom is better late than never. It's said when you think that it's better for someone or something to be late than never to arrive or to happen. For example, happy birthday to you. My birthday was 2 weeks ago, but better late than never. Did you have situations when you were late for something? Why did it happen? It's a common thing that people forget someone's birthdays or other important days for some reason, maybe because these days don't mean much to them. Give somebody a hard time. It means to make things difficult or unpleasant for someone. There is no reason why you should get angry on the world only because one man gave you a hard time. There are plenty of cases when somebody or something gives us a hard time. It can be kids, or job, or study, or even learning English. The idea is to be sensible about what's going on, reflect on a situation, and move on without being stressed and annoyed. If you find your inner happiness, it will be hard for someone to give you a hard time. All in good time means at a more favorable time in the future. This phrase encourages to be patient. For instance, I'm 25 years old. Why am I not married yet? Oh, all in good time. A lot of people are impatient. They want everything here and now. Most often, it's a trait of spoiled rich people. Next time someone says they can't wait for something, use this phrase. Be ahead of time. There are two meanings of this idiom. The first meaning is to have new ideas a long time before other people think that way. For example, this book is ahead of its time. It's brilliant. The second meaning is earlier than a given deadline. For example, this dish is good for dinner parties because much of the preparation can be done ahead of time. Do you make food or order something for a party? Take your time means you can spend as much time as you need in doing something. There is no need to hurry. Sometimes it's better to slow down to do something right and to have good results. For instance, if you want to know English well, take your time and be hardworking. Being good at English or at anything you are interested in is a difficult task. You need practice and patience. The results will be great, I promise. Alright, it's crunch time. Let's test your memory. Ready? The first task is look at the pictures and guess the idioms. In the first picture, we can see a girl. She doesn't seem to have a lot of money and she is sad. And after a while, she has a lot of money in her wallet and she is happy now. In the second picture, we see a boy. He is extremely angry. And then we see his sister. She is also angry for some reason. And after a while, we meet their dad. He is upset with them. In the third picture, we see a man with a lot of money. We see that he blows it everywhere. And after a while, we see the result. A huge bill that he cannot pay. In the fourth picture, there is a man. He seems smart and he has an idea. It's extraordinary. In the fifth picture, ice cream. $50. And this character doesn't look so happy about it. Guess the idioms for these pictures. The first idiom should be, she went from rags to riches. She didn't have money, and after a while, she became rich. The second idiom should be, his children give him a hard time. They look so angry, and their father is exhausted because of it. The third idiom should be, this man lived beyond his means. As a result, he's got a lot of bills that he cannot pay. The fourth idiom should be, I have a great idea ahead of time. Maybe we'll have more cool inventions in the future. And the fifth idiom is, $50 for my ice cream. It's highway robbery. Indeed, our character doesn't look so happy about the price. Did you guess all the idioms? Let's do one more task. Read the messages and choose the right options. Here are 3 options for the last message. At all times, ahead of your time, in good time. Which is the right option? You will be successful, but it will be in good time. Three options here. Time against you. Time is money. Time is ripe. Hurry up! Time is money. Here are the options for a song ahead of time, late than never. You are lucky. You voted for a song. Well done! If you like my video, show your reaction please. Subscribe and give it your thumbs up. Check out my previous video, it's about animal idioms. There are a lot of funny pictures and interesting idioms. Consume yummy knowledge, share with the world, and be happy. See you in my next videos!